We're going to talk about what's next for Sony. I mean, I would say what they should do, but they ain't going to listen to nobody.
No.
I mean, I guess we're all going to say that, but don't expect anything. You know?
I'm curious what you think they should do.
They were so obsessed of trying to make something that people, didn't want, that they missed something that people actually did want. And that's what baffles me, man. It was right there. And we've already kind of mentioned it. People actually wanted. So who would have thunk it? Old Kraven the Hunter did even worse than old Miss Webb out there.
Did it?
Yeah, yeah. Everybody thought that R rating was gonna make him radical. It was gonna make him actually the most profitable, the most successful of all the Sony movies out there. Oh, this is gonna be the one. Kraven the Hunter, boy. All it took was for him to bite people's noses off and kill a few people in bloody, gory ways. Who cares that Spider Boy ain't around?
Sure. Who needs him?
Yeah, all of y'all. All y'all need him. Even Spider-Man, so I can't save that shit.
Right, exactly. I might be a superhero, but I can't save everybody.
Yeah. Shit, y'all are dead as Gwen Stacy. I can't say this shit. I can't do nothing with this. Yeah. This is one of I think this is the biggest bomb.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This set of a very unfortunate record for this Sony Spider-Man-less universe out there. And what we're going to do with this discussion, we're going to talk about what's next for Sony. I mean, I would say what they should do, but they ain't going to listen to nobody.
No.
I mean, I guess we're all going to say that, but don't expect anything.
I'm curious what you think they should do.
You know what? I almost don't want to say, because we've been telling them for years.
Yeah.
Telling them for years. And if they had just listened to us, old Kraven would have been somebody. He could have done something.
Yeah.
Somebody to me, I'll be honest.
Yeah. He could have been somebody. But they don't listen to us over here. But as much as we talk in vain, we're gonna do it again. We're gonna try. See if they'll listen to reason. If we can just get through to them. So thinking about what they've been doing, all this has started over one thing, and they had that. The signs were early to not do this, but one thing that they were doing, and one thing they need to do moving forward, drop that Sinister Six shit. They did from the moment. That's how this all started.
Right.
This all started in at the end of what, Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, they did a whole stinger showing you everybody's gonna be in the next series right there. And look, is that who I think it is? Oh shit, is that tentacles over there? Man, that's some wings. Oh hell, they finna go hard.
They got wings, they got pizza, they got everything.
Everything.
Wings and pizza.
Yeah, it was a bad idea in the first place to try to do this, because what they were trying to do, they were trying to make their own villain universe just in case they, could get Spider-Man in there at some point. There's supposed to be something to make them a little more flexible and keep those rights, that Spider-Boy. And like I said, it was a bad idea in the first place that nobody wanted, but they said, no, y'all gonna get this shit whether you like it or not. We want it.
Well, in the right hands, they could have built the Sinister Six, so that then whenever they got Spider-Man or whatever Spider-Man they chose to use, even if they brought back Andrew Garfield, it could all come together.
Yeah, but no, they don't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way.
No.
I said in the right hands, and these are the left hands.
Yeah, that horse stays behind that cart. Look at it. If y'all just let me around, we can do something.
You just chill back there, horse.
Push the shit. That's not how this works. Yeah, man. The more they tried, you're right. They could have done something with Andrew Garfield, and but they were even this they were trying to rush.
Yeah.
So that's one of the problems that they had here, and it's an idea that was already being forced. It was not an idea born out of genuine storytelling. It was an idea that was born out of business. When I say business, I say greed. They just wanted to make some money. And the more they tried to force this idea, the worse it got.
Yeah.
It's like when you have some food that just don't really taste that good, you keep throwing seasoning on it and everything until the shit is just trash. Until you can't even eat it. It was kind of edible before, now it's nothing.
I was at somebody's house and they made a dish and they were proud of it, but when I went to eat it, it was bland. So I thought, well, if I just put some salt in it, it'll be palatable. Yeah. But all they had was that synthetic salt. It's like not real salt. But I was like, well, they'll give it some flavor. Yeah. And all I did was make it worse. Yeah. So now I had a bigger, this dish that's even worse now to try to choke down.
Like somebody trying to make some soup or stew and you keep saying need some salt and you keep saying, well, now it needs this, now it needs that. Next thing you know, put so much shit in there, slop.
Yeah. And it's bigger now.
Yeah. There's so much slop, even hog won't eat that shit.
I really thought the ketchup would do it, but
at this point, you put rocks in the soup and everything. It doesn't work. It's terrible.
It just needs some texture. This sand ought to fill it out.
Wonder what happened. I put my shoe in there. Yeah, man. Somebody said you can only add so many spices before it turns to shit. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So, but this is the sad thing about it. They were so obsessed of trying to make something that people, didn't want, that they missed something that people actually did want. And that's what baffles me, man. It was right there. And we've already kind of mentioned it. People actually wanted some more Spider-Man. They didn't want these villains. They wanted more Spider-Man after No Way Home. Yeah. They saw all those Spider-Man. For years, people dogged Andrew Garfield out. He's the worst Spider-Man. He sucks. I never want to see him again. And then all of a sudden, No Way Home comes out and he charms everybody along with all the other Spider dudes. Even for me, who doesn't really like nostalgia, I was like, this is kind of cool.
So you make your own web fluid in your body?
Like I don't do breathing. Like breathing just happened.
It's like, I don't know. But it's amazing. I love this. It's a great scene.
Well, this whole movie, which I don't think it's a good movie, but it totally redeems the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Yes.
And showed you like, oh, wow, they figured out a way to give him dimension and make him relevant and a blueprint for where you could go with him from this moment forward.
Yes. And beyond just him, all the characters around him. They made Jamie Foxx's character actually okay.
Yeah, people, this was like, I told y'all when it came out, I love Spider-Man. I love the Tom Holland Spider-Man, but I said the movie I don't think is that great. But it's got some great scenes in there. Yeah. This is my thing with this movie is that it really works the best when you see it for the first time in a theater when nobody knows about it. Yeah. Other times you can watch on TV and still be entertained by like moments like this.
Yeah, when you get the moments with the three Spider-Men together. It's a shame that the movie is convoluted just to give you that scene or those scenes. But those scenes work.
No, they're brilliant. They're brilliant, man. No Way Home, Spider-Man, No Way Home. It sparked a new interest in these characters. Mm-hmm. And when this was done, and I thought they were going to try to do this. You talk about somebody handing y'all the ball and y'all miss a layup. Right. Not a three-point shot.
No.
You missed a simple layup. Bang!
Yeah, right?
Bounced right off the rim.
Right, dunked it off the rim. Like, okay, well.
So I thought and I could see this. I thought they were going to get, some Spider-Man movies where they were going to get their own films.
Yeah.
And maybe find a way to bring Andrew Garfield back and also Tobey Maguire back. And their movies could be, they could have the separate movies, but maybe they connect them some kind of way, and at least in title. Yeah. Or something to where it seems like a series of these old school Spider-Mans that we have right here. And I could, it's funny because I could see the movies opening up where they're walking through a portal, going back to their own worlds. And we're catching up where they left off.
Right.
Hey everyone, hate to interrupt the conversation right now, but we do have to give a word out to our sponsor, which is BetterHelp. And hey, the holidays are here. Wow, that got here quick. And you know what? We're all ready to have a good time with our friends, our family, eating and drinking. But between those good times, it can get a little stressful. That's because, some of us have parties coming up that we got to plan for, we got to cook for. We all have to do some shopping, and it can put a little bit of pressure on us. But what can help out with that? Therapy. And the great thing about therapy right now is that you can get it online, and a great place to start with that is, that's right, BetterHelp. Why? Because, with BetterHelp, it's entirely online. So it's designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. And you can do it the way you want. You can have a video call, but if you're not comfortable doing a face-to-face, you can do a phone call. And it's very easy to get into. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with the licensed therapist of your choice. And hey, if it's not working out, you can switch therapists at any time, no questions asked, for no additional charge. And here's something that's really gonna give you peace of mind right now. That's right, I have a code for you for a discount. If you put in betterhelp.com/doubletoasted, you'll get 10% off your first month. I want to thank BetterHelp for sponsoring this portion of the show. And I want to thank all of you out there who make me feel good all the time, our supporters. Thank you for your support, and I appreciate you. And now back to the video. I mean, listen, they can still do this, but they won't. But they could.
Well, they won't have Marvel there to hold their hands to show them how to do it.
But they don't even need them. They have the Spider-Verse movies that are like pushing. It's like, see, we have like 50 Spider-Man. So just use these two.
Yeah, because they're doing great work. We can sit up here and say, well, that's too many Spider-Man. But if they have their own distinct, well-told stories, nobody's gonna complain. I'll tell you that right now. And man, think about this. They f*** up a miracle.
Yeah.
A miracle happened and they cursed it. This was a great way to take those mediocre Andrew Garfield movies and just reignite them with better films.
Yeah. Oh, that was implying. I was implying that.
Why? Isn't that the question of the day?
It's not that great of a movie. Even years later, I had to say that because I was trying to be behind these movies. And I tell you why. Because I really like a lot of people, still really enjoyed Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker in Spider-Man. He was closer to being Spider-Man than I believe Tobey Maguire was, because he would crack jokes when he's fighting. He wouldn't shut up.
He didn't do it all that much.
Like he didn't do it that much, but he did it more than they did in the Sam Raimi movies.
Hey, go back and watch the first Tobey Maguire.
I did,
because with him and Green Goblin, he's plenty cracking jokes with him and teasing him.
I watched it and I was like, you know what's missing? He's not talking shit. Because I've watched it. I've been like, that's one of my favorite things about Spider-Man. It's like the villains are like, "Will you shut the f up?" That's how he beats them.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I could be just that could just be me and me, just loving Spider-Man a little too much and wanting something. But I'll tell you this. I'm just saying that I believe that Andrew Garfield, and y'all saw it with No Way Home. I believe that Andrew Garfield deserves some better movies, man. And they had a moment, starting with this film right here, to actually, give him that moment, man. Because he says things in No Way Home where it's like, all right, we're missing a whole period here that we didn't get to see. Or, these movies are never made, of course, but what he said, we can imagine a whole storyline of things that we missed with the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. He says, he talks about how he went to a very dark place in No Way Home. And I thought, you know what? That's interesting.
I lost Gwen. At some point, I stopped pulling my punches.
Did he cripple someone? Did he kill somebody?
Yeah.
There's a whole story there where we can go and explore this other side of Spider-Man that we haven't seen with Tom Holland.
Right.
I never thought about it like that. I just thought that he was acknowledging like that those movies were like trying to be edgier and darker. But that's interesting to think about.
No, that's emotional. He's crying. He's
crying. Yeah, and the fact that that death of Gwen Stacy, it carried on further. There's emotional depth here. And it's like, man, this gives you so much more to build on.
Yeah. I wonder what kind of guilt he's carrying with him. Where he, like I said, did he really destroy somebody's life? Did he murder someone who probably had it coming, but that's not him, and he's carrying that guilt around with him, man.
I mean, Spider-Man is born of guilt.
Yeah.
And this just amplifies that.
Yeah. They have that right there. They could do something with that instead of trying to, force these other lame ass. Keep in mind, people, all these movies that they're doing right now, Madam Web, Morbius, even, I'm sorry, I know y'all love Venom, I'm sorry, but even Venom, all those movies feel like they're from 1996 or something.
Yeah, they do.
97 or 99.
Yeah,
you know?
you're watching those movies like, we don't do them like this anymore. Did you guys not know that?
Well, we do them the old-fashioned way.
I mean, look, back in the days of Ghost Rider and Daredevil, yeah, maybe, but yeah, that's old.
Yeah, early 2000s, yeah. Now, Tobey Maguire, think about this, y'all. Tobey Maguire, he's going to be 50. And before you say anything, that's another interesting thing. We haven't seen a Spider-Man that old yet. And, and he still looks good, I think this is from 2024, close to it. But, I'm not saying that we go full dark with this character, because I was going to make, some comparisons to Logan right here. But, we got a very interesting story with an older Logan, and which is from the comics, Old Man Logan, influenced by that. But I don't think you need to go that dark. But there is something interesting by seeing Peter Parker, how he's learned things,
Yeah, he's learned things. He's more serene. He's wiser.
He's got a family.
He's got a family. I mean, that's the interesting part, that he's got a family.
Yeah.
And he still finds ways to be Spider-Man, and you assume Mary Jane knows about it. They got a system worked out.
We got a little bit of a taste of that in that first Spider-Verse movie, but I would like to see them explore that more.
Yeah. No, there was a Spider-Man with the family and whatnot. I just like to see, you could probably go dark, a little bit dark with Andrew Garfield, and then, go a little bit lighter with Tobey Maguire and see how he's adjusted to being, an older, wiser Spider-Man. What he's learned from over the years.
But, like with the Spider-Verse, it would have been more interesting to have him stick around for Tom Holland and be a mentor to him for a little while.
Yeah, I would like that, but I don't want Sony with more.
I know.
They doing that good enough by themselves.
And Sony approached him like, you could do this. And like, stay over there.
Yeah, thank you.
And we could, executive produce on it. Like,
yeah. Now imagine if he's happy being a family man and he's getting pulled back in.
Yeah.
Just a little bit, like he's already come in. He talked to the other Spider-Man. He's like, I got to get back into it.
Yeah. That would be cool. He's like, you aren't going out again. What? No.
Take your shirt off. Why?
All right, fine. I'm having an affair. Okay.
With the neighborhood. But yeah, it's that there's a lot of interesting things that they set up, and they totally take that shit somewhere else. But no, we got Kraven. No, we don't need Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. We got Madam Web coming up.
Which, okay, they're doing the Sinister Six and Venom and Kraven and Morbius. I get it, but how does Madam Web fit into a Sinister Six? That was just so baffling. Like, why?
They got to fight somebody.
I
don't know. Man, listen, they don't know what they're doing. How we gonna figure it out?
And even with them having the other 3 Spider Girls, you'd think they would do something with that.
Yeah. No, not a goddamn thing.
No.
If they were to follow with this blueprint that we've so kindly laid out for them, which they would probably throw away and save little bits to wipe their ass with. But think about this as another bonus. It would be interesting to see if you could bring Sam Raimi back to maybe do the Maguire movies. Because, think about this. It lets him do ideas that he wanted to do, but couldn't do because he was being forced into making a movie that he doesn't even like, which is Spider-Man 3. Everybody can be happy in their own little sandbox around here. They can do their versions of
their own little Sandman box.
People I think that got to my head when I saw that.
Yeah, that's you thinking of the topic today.
No, you can have these different versions of these villains, and everybody can be in their own world doing this, and everybody can have, different villains if they want to, and they don't have to interfere with what Marvel's doing over here and what somebody's doing over here. Yeah, they really have a very great opportunity to have the best of all worlds, and they just are so laser focused on trying to get a quick buck that they missed the opportunity to do cool storytelling. This is what has to happen. I don't say they got to go because they ain't going nowhere, but they have to take a step back. Amy Pascal and Avi Arad, they got to step back. You know, and Avi Arad, this is a man who is all about selling toys, making money. It's going to be hard to get to be hands off on some of this stuff. But they
just got to force him.
Yeah,
because every time his name is attached to something, it goes poorly.
Yeah, if somebody says that's never happened, yeah, if it happens, great. But nobody's holding their breath around here. We'd be as blue as Electro trying to do this. No, but you know, this is these two need to step back and let somebody come in and run the ship who knows their property. They can still oversee everything, but just trust somebody to just come in. How many times do they have to prove to you? And even Marvel or Disney needs to see this. You know, maybe DC was funny enough. How about that irony? Maybe DC would be the one to actually get it right.
Yeah.
And for a change, everybody looks at them as the model. If James Gunn can do what he says he wants to do. But, you know, think about, you know, if they let somebody come in, they follow the success of DC and what Marvel used to be, and they just let somebody come in who knows this stuff and just let them handle things. You know, they can come in and give a word or two, but they got to trust somebody. It's been proven over and over again. Marvel's heyday, maybe with DC coming up, if you just tell really cool stories, people will show up.
Yeah.
I think from what I see on IMDb, which is, you know, it's never for sure. It seems like Avi Arad is moving more into anime and video games. Because I'm seeing that he does have, like, it does say Black Cat, but there's also Metal Gear Solid, Naruto, Mass Effect, Infamous. Like, there's tons.
So he can go
tons of things he's about to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my opinion of some things that some ideas that they could have done. Could still do, you know, if they had went up their asses, but, you know, well, I don't know. What do you guys think? You got some ideas?
I mean, at this point, like, these not Spider-Man movies, they've just become like goofy schlock to laugh at because from the jump, they're wrong. They're not doing it correctly. Like, watching Kraven was exactly what I thought it would be. It was laughable, silly shit that had one of the worst performances I've seen all year in any movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they can do from here, but I think what you're saying is what we've all been saying, you know, for years.
Mm-hmm.
Just take a Spider-Man, maybe make a new Spider-Man for this. I don't give a shit, but if you're going to tell a story about a Spider-Man character, put Spider-Man in the movie. It's not that hard.
So, unpopular. Nobody's going to like this. But they've already had success with Miles Morales. And if they were to say, okay, well, we know we can sell stuff with this guy, they could do a live action.
I think
people will come out to see it.
No, they couldn't. I agree with you. No, I agree with you. I think they've, and that's their plan, but do it right. I think, and this is a controversial thing, and this is not my idea. I was talking to James today, one of the editors. This is his idea. And I was thinking about it. I was like, you know, that's a drastic measure to get Miles Morales in, but Miles Morales needs an Uncle Ben. And, you know, he was saying maybe they kill off either Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield. And that's when Miles Morales takes over. They mentor him and then, you know. So, yeah, I think they should do a Miles Morales live action.
It's just, I hate to put it out there because where they are right now, they'll ruin it.
Yeah. They got to be kicking around an idea of Spider-Man teaching Miles Morales because that's what the video game does.
Yeah.
And that's what you're saying. That's kind of what they're setting up for the third Spider-Man game. So if they're smart, they'll do something like that because at the end of the day, it comes down to us caring about these characters. And if they don't make us care about the main character who surrounds these villains, it's worthless. And you're just going to make junk, which I love too.
I mean, but they're surrounded by the success of the animated movies and the video games. And they still go like, we just can't figure out what to do. Like, what has to be in your face for you to know?
Yeah, no, you're right. 100%. And stop trying to, you know, because you ain't got a Spider-Man, stop trying to make a hero out these damn villains.
Right.
You know, that it doesn't work. Because for one, it's not what the character is. At least let us see them as a villain before you try to take that approach. And the second thing is, well, even with this being rated R, you still don't have the balls to go out and make him a, you know, even when you say it's the origin of a villain, you still can't make him a villain.
Yeah, he's never a villain.
Now, I don't know how true this is, but I've been hearing online that apparently for the first Black Panther movie, there was a version of the script that featured Kraven as a villain, but Sony was like,
No, I heard
we
that.
have plans for that.
Yeah.
It's like, that would have been so perfect for that character.
No, I think Killmonger was.
Sure, but I think he was going to be another villain in it.
Oh, okay, like take Claw's place or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I would like to celebrate and say that this is all over, but I don't even trust them on that.
No.
They'll find something. Sony's villains. They're the main villain. Make a movie about y'all.
Sony's stupid ass 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Sony's the biggest villain of all of them, so I don't trust them to do right. You will continue to do evil villain now too, and do something besides the right thing, because that's not what heroes do.
Right.
I mean, that's not what villains do.
Right. I mean, they could always lease these out to Marvel to get them set up and then go like, all right, well, now that you've got it all set up, maybe we can do something on our own with
Do
it.
you think there's a sliver of hope that this gives Marvel some leverage to say, all right, stop, trust us, listen?
I think they've been saying that the whole time.
But no, of course, nobody's going to listen, you know. But now that all these movies have been failures and diminishing value, even Venom, the last Venom movie, which I think is the better out of the best out of all of them, that was the lowest grossing one, right? At least domestically, you know. So I don't know.
And Venom sells himself just off the look of being giant and goopy with that tongue. But like, I think that they have enough leverage with Madam Web and Kraven that Avi Arad will be told, sit down, shut up.
Yeah, I hope there might be a chance. I mean, like, we never thought that they would even give anything to Marvel. And they did, and and when they let Marvel do what they need to do, when Marvel's not themselves, then we've seen the results. So I think hopefully that will give them a chance to say, all right, you've done what you had to do. And by the way, keep in mind that they've been forcing stuff, all these stingers and everything into something that's never gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
They're not gonna have any bearing on what they've tried to set up at all. Shit just never, just not gonna go anywhere. Tired of that shit. All these goddamn stingers.
Some of the characters, I mean, not even stingers, some of the characters that they introduced in Kraven, it's like, who the f is this guy? His special power? Bad editing.
Only the future can tell. I'd like to say we got better things to worry about, but I'm still sitting up here sick of what Sony's doing, man. I hope that that this has hurt enough. That was my biggest hope for it. I don't like to say I wish you would fail, but Sony has to fail before they can get better. So I hope this is a lesson for them. We'll see where it goes. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.